Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take another quick look here at Solana. We're right here in the support zone between 135 and 140. As I mentioned yesterday, if we reach that area, decent consideration for adding to your position. It's kind of that last line of defense, but not necessarily a good place to consider just taking a high leverage long position. The leverage doesn't make any sense right now. You shouldn't be trading with leverage unless you like just removing money from your account. Now, again, that sounds kind of contradictory because we did secure some nice solid profits on our short. We had a 10x leverage short from 91,000 to 81.8. Got a good little 56% off on that one. Okay, so it's not to say that the market isn't full of opportunities, but the truth is that short was halfway through its downtrend and Bitcoin just looked like it was going to continue lower, had a CME gap. There's tons of confluence to the downside. Same thing as well with Solana. There's a lot of confluence that the price should continue lower. That's just the overall sense. So why take a long in the against the grain? Like it's crazy how many people try to take longs in just kind of like as just kind of like an upset person would do. Revenge trading, it's so terrible, folks. Don't do it. Listen to me. I've been there before. Revenge trading is not a very good strategy. Okay, so either way you look at it here, let's talk about the gist of what's going on. When we take a look at liquidation, it's just a big old mess. Any liquidation to the upside got swept really hard, and then of course same to the downside here. There's no rhyme or reason for any of this except for just market manipulation. That's really what it boils down to. A lot of unfortunate tariffs and things that are happening in the world right now are causing the market to respond very poorly. And that's happening with cryptocurrency too. So just to understand that from a liquidation standpoint, we could see 125 as potential reality. I think that's lower likelihood now that Bitcoin's bottoming out, so to speak, but as a tentative bottom. We don't know it's truly done going down. So it's probably best to presume the price is going to continue lower until it doesn't, just based on the fact that the macro downtrend is still bearish. We can see our short-term reversal here, of course, with a significant amount of liquidation delta to the downside. It's not favorable either. A simple way to understand it is that when this is red, you don't want to take a long into it until that shifts its momentum. And the main reason why is just based on the simple fact that this is kind of an indication of how many longs are in the market versus how many shorts are in the market. There's way more shorts in the market right now, so why go against that? You're simply reducing the odds of success by trying to drive in oncoming traffic. While it can still be done, it's probably not a good idea, right? That's the general concept here. So when we take a look at the price action, these are areas of open interest, basically telling us where the most amount of buying power is at this point. And we can kind of see here 150, people buying the previous high, or they're just adding to their bags as the price comes down. By the way, 150, 162, and of course 177. Crazy how many people opened positions at 177. To the upside, by the way, these are just people adding to their spot bag. These are breakout traders, folks. Do you really want to be a breakout trader in this market? Their success rate is like under 10%. Anyways, the whole point of me mentioning that is to not try to be a breakout trader now. It's like, oh gosh, I'm just going to buy the dip and take a high leveraged long. While it might actually work out and you may find some benefit, at the end of the night when you're sleeping or before you go to sleep, you're going to know in your heart and soul that you made a bad call. And that's just that shouldn't be something that you do consistently because you're not going to survive in this market if you do that. So the best way to do it is to avoid trading a coin like this to the upside in regard to using leverage. Okay, I'm not saying you can't add your spot bag, or maybe you use low leverage and you watch it close. That's a different story. But most people try to like set it and forget it to 300, and it's never going to happen. At least not for a long time. Okay, so anyways, that's kind of where we're at there. Having said all that, we're starting to find our bottom here, our foundation. We can see a candlestick closures consistently closing at 135, right in that range. So there's a lot of confluence there, point of control. Just a lot of reasons why this should be the bottom if Bitcoin doesn't keep running to the downside. It sucks. Every single video that I make, I have to say if Bitcoin doesn't screw us over, because that's really what happens every time. Either way, Bitcoin's overextended, likely to recover short term to the upside, and I think at this point here, it's safe to presume that Solana should recover too. But once more, that's where we're at. Anyways, overall sentiment here is not good. There's nothing fantastic or amazing about this chart. The daily time frame looks terrible. We're still under our larger, more macro descending trend line here. So if you kind of just draw a line out here, you can see we are pretty clear underneath that range. Okay. Now, obviously, yesterday it broke above, and this is where breakout traders come in, taking longs at 175. They're absolutely destroyed now. It was not a good call, mainly because Bitcoin is giving us tons of fake outs. And obviously, there was some fundamental catalysts on Sunday, and again with tariff trade wars yesterday and today. So it's a pretty nonsensical market. So if you're gonna trade with anything, just low leverage if you insist on trading with leverage. Either way you look at it, I'll update our playout chart, post it on Twitter, Telegram, or Discord. When you're watching this video, you'll know it's already available. So just keep in mind it's available here. And yes, this is exactly what market makers are doing right now. Just having a good old time, screwing every retail trader over, and they're making billions of dollars off it. It's crazy, crazy. Either way you look at it here on the 4-hour time frame, we are not in a good position. What would put us in a better position is to close above the local high, because we can almost act as if this never happened. This trash should not have happened. We're basically just hitting the old reset button. It's as if we're range bound right now in a lot of ways, because that really was just a fundamental catalyst. Having said that, though, we really need to close above this 148, this local high here, kind of this local range, in order to have any legs to stand on. So hypothetically, the price comes up here to 147, 148. We could see the price continue higher from there. Once more, it's just not really a good consideration to take a long right now. We're under 50 on the RSI. Money flow index is right there with it. We're below our simple moving average there. There's nothing that I see here is like, this is amazing. If you're watching anyone else saying, oh, we got hidden bullish divergence and there's a bull pennant pattern forming. None of that stuff matters because everything's going down, right? You don't try to take a trade in the opposite direction just because you get one confirming factor when there's 15 others saying the price is going to go down. This doesn't make any sense. So it's just very weak, not really worthwhile taking a long position at this point. Hourly time frame, usually something I try to look at to verify we're back on track, at least tentatively. It's going to be a while. We got to be back up above this descending trend line. We need to be at 150 or higher, depending on obviously when that occurs. But generally speaking, this is where we want to consider entry. We're probably a couple of days away before we get any kind of real confirmation that we're remotely back on track. So 99% of the indicators right now are telling us taking a long position is a bad idea. Why don't you comment below and let us know what your thoughts are, and maybe, if you're considering a long, and maybe why. I'd love to learn what you see, and maybe I don't. But, after doing this for over 20 years, I can tell you folks, there's not a lot of merit or incentive in taking it along right now, just because of how high risk it is. Not to say it couldn't still work out. Just know, at the end of the day, you did yourself dirty if you think that this is how trading works by, just buying every single dip and occasionally getting lucky. It's just not a good strategy. All right, folks, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again. Sorry if I was a downer here. Just kind of telling you how it is. This is just the market right now. Will it be different tomorrow? Absolutely. So hopefully you survive between now and then. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much again for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.